That's cool.
Yo, you gotta let people know when you're gonna come in.
It was supposed to be as delayed.
It's all
I was
good.
waiting on it. My little joint was slowing up. All right, let's run this thing right.
I love that intro.
Beginners, as y'all see, we got the majority of the gang with us. We only just missing one number. So what's going on, everybody? How y'all feeling?
Good, good.
Just living the dream.
Yeah, my stuff is on a little bit of a delay. Everybody all right? Everybody good?
Of course,
Yeah.
never better. Never better.
Y'all ready to go ahead and get straight into this thing? Y'all, we're gonna talk about let's stand together. So one of the reasons why, I wanted to, have this conversation. I'm just curious, I always hear, different people, men and women, always talk about, how they would exit and what would make them exit and they'll leave because of this and leave because of that. So I just want to talk about, what I'm saying, what would make us stay together? What would keep us together? So just few questions. Just talk. We just gonna dive into this thing, man. But before we get into this, I got a question I wanted to know. A man has two women, right? He lies to one, and he tells the other one the truth. Which one does he typically love?
Though that's very little information to go off of.
That's all that's needed.
That's all that needed. I mean,
and the reason why I'm saying that's all that's needed.
If it's all that's needed, then why are y'all hesitating to answer?
No. The reason why I can say that's all that's needed because I guarantee you every guy understood that wholeheartedly and nothing else is needed.
The one he lied
Let's let the guys go first then. Let's hear your perspective.
This ain't towards the set. This is random. This is something I was just curious. I was thinking about. I just wanted to hear other people's opinion. Capri said the one that he lied to. What y'all think?
I think that's kind of accurate, but again, I don't think that's enough information to go off of.
I agree with Caprice as far as typically. I think there's a lot of other situations as well too. Because a lot of times, like when the person is lying to the significant other, saying that they're gonna leave the wife or they're gonna leave the girlfriend, I think whoever they feel like it's gonna cost the most to. Now, typically that's the person they with. But a lot of times, the person can be honest with the person they with and lie to the other person. Whoever they feel like the consequences are going to be most severe, that's typically the person that they lie to, and that's usually the person they love. And sometimes it can be the other person as well.
Yeah, so like I said, I was just asking typically, you know what I'm saying, typically how it works. Because if I answer the question, I would say typically, it's usually the person he's lying to. He typically care more.
Mm-hmm.
Typically not. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and let's get into this thing right here. Izzy look like she's still confused. Izzy look like I don't know.
No, I'm not confused. I'm just like okay.
She probably want to know why.
Yeah, I have so much questions now.
I mean, we're gonna talk about lying next week. That's next week's show, so we're gonna definitely get into lying. But right now we're gonna stick to the agenda. So, first question I got up for the team: do we really give grace when a person begins to lack within a relationship? Think about all your scenarios, right? Do we really give grace when a person begins to lack within a relationship? And this goes for men and the women, just period. When a person begins to lack, do we really give them the appropriate amount of grace? I'll start with Izzy.
Okay, I think there's like a couple different scenarios with this. I think okay, so for the example of, let's say, like the people or the couple is both equally yoked, maybe at first they start to give grace, but if the things that you do that are lacking become a habit, that's when it comes one of the things that might potentially break up the relationship or become something that might be a detriment to your relationship. So if there's a situation where maybe either the man or the woman or vice versa, they are basically, with this person just because they want to be with this person. They don't care what package they come in. They don't care if they have a job. They don't care if they still live at their mama's house, whatever. They just love this person and is obsessed with this person. Then they could come in any form, package, be less than. They're going to do everything they can to pull them up because they want this person to be in their life. Even though, quite frankly, the person that's very lacking isn't going to want that person in the long run, especially when they advance in their level. They typically go to someone else. They're probably just with them for some type of use, just like a use situation. But yeah, I think there's a couple situations with that.
Okay. Josh, what you think, man? Do we really give grace when a person begins to lack in a relationship?
Like I say, it depends on scenario. Most likely, no, because
from your optician, from the things you've seen. Speak from what you've seen.
Things I see. Do we really give grace? No, because some people are already stuck in their ways and know what they want, so they're not gonna give you grace because they know what the hell they want. So,
okay, Mike, what you think, man? Do we really give grace out here when a person begins to lack?
From what I've seen, I think so. Just because a lot of people deal with a lot of shit that people do, so I think they feel safer sticking with what they know instead of trying something new. So I guess you could say it's grace, or I don't know, just being in love or being dumb. I don't know, but I think so.
Matt, what you think, man? You think people really giving grace?
Yeah, I agree with Mike Joe. He actually put words up on my. I believe. I guess it's depending on what people consider grace. If it's like staying in a relationship, trying to make it work, I would say yeah. But grace for criticism, because some people may feel like you complaining about your spouse, if you get into it about something, you're not giving them grace. So I mean, just because I'm gonna stay with you, don't mean I'm not going to address the issue as well. And that don't mean we ain't gonna get into it over the issue. So I would say if it's grace staying together, most people don't just leave off of one mistake. Maybe these younger people, that's in the 20s, they just date for a fun thing. But most people that's looking for like a legitimate relationship, they usually take too much more so than give a little grace. They usually give too much grace. But like I said, if it's grace from like leaving, I would say yeah. But if it's grace for like I can't complain or I can't have an issue about it. Like I believe most people don't give grace in that way. So that's what I say about that.
Okay. Caprice, what you think? I see you jumping in and out. So while she get it together, if I answer the question, I say I think it depends on the individual, how strong-minded people are within their situation. I think there are certain people who are gracious towards others, and they try to make it work, and they're not quick to get up out of a situation. But I think there is a lot of people who really they'll be ready to go when it's not fitting. The things aren't fitting or meeting what they like, whether it's finances or even like infidelity or things of that nature. I think like when someone begins to lack or they step into a different arena, I think most people really aren't as gracious. I think more people are selfish than anything. So I really think that more people, like if I had to put it in a comparison, I think more people are a little less gracious than they are the other way. Just from what I'm seeing. Or do y'all need an example? You think a lot of women will stick around if a man is not motivated to get a certain job, or like he ain't shooting for a certain type of money? You think a lot of women will stick around?
If I see that your potential is there, but you're just not doing much, then no, I have to leave you. I'm sorry.
You say you would leave him?
I mean, eventually,
You on
like
mute,
maybe
man.
not at first, but like eventually, like the things that you give grace on is the things that end the relationship in the long run. So,
What's your standard? What's your standard of um, what level of success is your standard that he should be striving to get to? Is it just like a getting better overall thing, or is there's a certain level that you have in mind?
well, I mean, I think like it's you first and foremost, you just have to do well for yourself. If I see that like, you're not doing well for yourself, it's like an infection. I don't want that shit around me. Like you gotta
So
like,
well for himself might not be your standard of what well should be for a man. I think you have like a set standard. He may feel like he's doing well for himself, but some people may feel that might not be your standard.
well, I mean, I just think you should be comfortable. Everybody's level of comfort is different, but if you're comfortable and comfortable means that you're not struggling and scraping and scrambling to pay the rent or your car or things like that, or to go on vacation. I mean, you don't have to be like this big baller like gazillionaire or anything, but you do have to be comfortable.
I can see that.
So use that to your own discretion of what comfort is.
Caprice, you there?
She
She
keeps
just
going
got
in and
back out.
out. Yeah.
I see you keep dropping in and out. So since we're talking about grace, does the entire value typically go? Well, would the entire value go out the window when somebody crosses a line that most people consider egregious, like cheating? And that's on both sides, not just the man or just the woman. Why do so many choose to throw it all away? What you think, Josh?
So the question again?
I said, does the entire value of the relationship go out to when someone does something considerably egregious like cheating?
Oh, it depends on circumstance. Well, it depends on the circumstances. Some women can forgive and forgive but never forget. But be you know, mm, and all that. Oh, oof.
So answer the question from your point of view. If you was with a chick and then she ended up cheating,
If she ended up cheating with me, that means I wasn't doing something right. And I mean, it's my loss. I mean, she could have talked to me and like tell me like what she wanted me to do, or I need the time, I need that. But if I don't give it to her, well, that's my fault. Now, if I did everything right, she still cheat. Ain't nothing I can do.
so you feel that if she cheated, that means you had to done something wrong.
Not necessarily. Hmm.
It's one of the possibilities.
I mean, it's one of the possibilities. Like, why would I mean? Maybe she thought somebody had more money or some shit like that. Well, go ahead then. Well, like I said, it depends on the situation. But for me, if a woman cheat on me, I want to know why.
So if she cheated, would you exit?
Crickets.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's so many more women out there. Like, if you cheat on me, and I'm not gonna beg and plead for you to stay. I mean, you want to leave
Yeah,
regardless.
no. But she ain't saying she leaving. She just cheated. She ain't say she with you for the man. She just cheated. She coming back home.
What home?
That's what I was asking though. That's what I was asking. Would you leave?
Nigga, what home?
That's
Hell
what I
no.
was asking though. Would you leave?
Huh?
That's why I said that's the point though. Would you so you saying you would leave?
Damn right.
Okay.
I feel like if you're not bringing loyalty to the relationship, if you're not bringing loyalty to the relationship as a female, what are you bringing then? That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Because if we look at to provide, usually men pay. Even men that don't believe in the whole 100% thing, men typically naturally still end up paying most of the bills or funding most of the lifestyle between you and the woman. Even if it's a man that like I want my woman to pay bills, he still end up pushing out more over time. You know what I'm saying? So he's keeping that. He's usually the man is protected. He's the leader of the household. Usually, now of course you got different situations, but usually the man he's the person owning the property. He's the person that's running the crib. If you ain't bringing loyalty, what are you bringing? Is it just the sex part? So you don't have a lot of things to uphold. That's the one thing you can do. Can you just do that right? Because you don't have a lot of responsibilities here. The one responsibility you got is to save that for daddy. If you can't do that right, it's an issue. You don't got that much stuff to do here. Also, one other thing too is I think like it's a certain level that a lot of men, because we look at women like how you talk about KJ idealistically, like a lot of men, especially growing up, we look at them as they should be pure, they shouldn't be doing certain things. So when a man meets a woman, a lot of times we have had a standard that she unlike the rest of the females. Once you cross that line, I can never look at you the same no more. You know, once that happens, even though it's a natural thing, I know people do it. You got urges, look at men get urges. But I think the way y'all can hear that?
Sure
I think the way we look at females, I think the way we look at females is just set us up also to not be in that position to like forgive. Mm-hmm.
Easy. You said that was telling. What was telling about what he did? What did he give up in his explanation?
Just the whole like, I don't know, toxic masculinity of it all. I mean, it's not all toxic. I understand that. But it's like, I don't like concepts where it's only isolated to one person. Like, here you all dipping and diving in every which one chick. Like, And it's like this is like the average man. Not every man does this, but it's like we're supposed to be forgiving and accepting and be loyal to you. But as soon as y'all push us to the ledge and like, you know, we decide to pull a you on you, it's an issue. You know, it's like don't do the things that you don't want done to you to other people is my thing. Wouldn't you agree?
Man.
I agree.
Yeah, but I never. Yeah, but I agree. I agree. No, I don't agree. Actually, I don't agree. But
And I'm not even like accusing you, but this is just like the general standard of like I feel like just the mentality of how men think, you know.
yeah, but I didn't personally say that anyone should be cheating. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't speaking on the concept of a woman cheating on me.
But then you
You know,
said like, oh, if we're not loyal, what do we bring? Okay, like so much,
yeah, that
so
don't mean that
much,
I'm saying that the man should be disloyal just because I said that. I'm just saying that he brings a lot of other assets to the table. A lot of
and we
times,
don't.
yeah, I do. But the main thing that men require is the loyalty part. That's the main thing. That's the first thing when a man meets a female, he thinks to himself, is she the type of woman that'll cheat on me?
Okay.
If you're thinking about relationship, unless you just want to hit, I'm talking about the guys that think about relationship. The first thing they think about is can I trust her? So if that ain't there,
Can I trust?
that's a
Can I
big
trust
problem.
y'all? Can I trust you? Like, if we have like a monogamous relationship, and then all of a sudden you think otherwise, or you practice
Now you don't have to be
otherwise,
here. No, if the man cheat, you don't have to be there as well. That's the whole point. No one has to be there. That's my whole point. So if she cheat, it's no forget. I mean, she may forgive the man, but as far as me forgiving the woman, it ain't no coming back from there. That's just crazy. That's the minimum. Is not cheating.
okay.
Mike, man, you got to chime in.
Yeah. Yo, me personally, man. Yo, you cheat, you gone. I mean, even if, like, let's just say I was the cheat, I'm not gonna stay with you, like, cause some women hold that shit, to hold it to themselves, like, hey, shit, you did it back then, so that's why I did it now. So obviously, if I cheated for a reason, so I'm not even gonna waste your time. I'm not gonna beg. I apologize and none of that. I cheated for a reason, though. Vice versa, the woman cheated for a reason. I'm like a one and done with that. You know, I don't. Life is too short to even just waste time. I don't care how much love it is. Like it's the one and done with me, straight up.
Caprice, you all right on that end?
I have one more comment to make about the
Go ahead.
whole cheating thing. So I just feel like people just really downplay what cheating really does and like how it really breaks relationships. Like, you know, we can speak on, oh, well, person practices like, you know, having multiple wives and this and that and the other. But the thing is that, like, when you say you are in a relationship, you define what it is and you break your promise on that. It's like, well, what else are you lying about? You know, and now it like psychs the other person out. It like literally is the poison in your relationship. And honestly, it's not even fair because the person in the relationship that wasn't cheating is basically making decisions on a reality that doesn't exist. How unfair is that? Like, what? Now you're making this person live in la la land, and you're embarrassing them. You're just doing so many things to like just, I don't know. It's just messed up. I just despise cheaters, honestly,
And
of all forms.
all this relationship ain't nothing but just hopes. You know what I'm saying? I hope you don't cheat on me. I mean, a person could tell you all day, I'm not gonna cheat on you. I'm not gonna do this and that. All you really could do is just hope they don't do it. I mean, you really going by word of mouth. And
Right.
you don't know, you don't really know who it is till the person do it. I could say a lot of things, but it's up to you when you catch me. Like, hey, it is what it is. You caught me doing this, so hey, it was just my time. My time's up. So,
You
but
know what YG says, all a man got is his dick and his word, so protect it by all means.
my word is everything, straight up.
So, Izzy, you had said something earlier. I'm going back to the financial thing.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you said he's still talking and you ain't even answer me.
Cause we couldn't hear you before.
Nah, I didn't hear nothing.
So you want you? What'd you say?
You could continue.
So I was asking them about the entire value going out the window when somebody make a misstep. So we were talking about finances and we were talking about the concept of cheating. And I asked, why does it seem like so many people would just throw the entire value out the window of the relationship? When I say the value, I'm talking about the value, the whole thing, because it's deeper than the personal touches and the personal feelings. Because you come together and we started talking about the concept of building family, is more people affected than just the one individual. So I want to dive into that concept. Like a lot of people say, if you cheat, automatically it's over. So I want to go into the family structure though. What about the rest of the unit? Like some people say, because you feel or you were triggered by something, now all of a sudden, even the kids got to go now with a single parent or go lacking without something. So the whole angle is, when you choose to join with something, is there something greater than just simply your ego and how you feel?
I think that all depends on what y'all set your relationship up for. If y'all agree to be monogamous together and you let this know this was a deal breaker for you, then why even do it when you know that precedent was set in the beginning?
No, I
Like
understand.
a man's word to me is everything. If you tell me something, I'm gonna remember that and I'm gonna keep you to your word. I don't care what actions you showing, none of that. You say you're only gonna be with me, you don't want nobody else, and you ain't gonna have sex with nobody else, then I'm gonna keep you to that word. Now be honest if you feel like you can't be faithful to one woman. That's my choice to want to deal with you after that.
I would say though, just to throw a comment out there. I would say I think it's worse. Like I think it's worse when a man forgive a woman for cheating than when a woman forgive a man for cheating. Like I think a woman should, if
Yeah,
it's a
for
certain type of man, it should be more easier for her to forgive than the man forgiving the woman.
How you come to that conclusion?
I ain't
his
lying.
Because
what his
cause I think
what
Go ahead,
you
man.
said?
Everybody, so
We're
everybody,
waiting.
It's
yeah,
all ear.
everybody,
Everybody curious. They want to hear. They want to hear.
nah,
He said
Caprice was
it's so easy for her
Caprice
to
was trying
what?
to ask a question. I was trying to hear what she said. Well,
His thing
I
keep
think
muting.
I was about to say, I think she was commenting on that piece, but I think mostly everybody was waiting to hear you actually elaborate on why you say you think it's worse.
because
No,
I think
I wanted him to repeat it because I didn't hear him.
oh, okay. Well, I think it's worse because I believe a female has to be protected. So if you were the type of guy that provides your lifestyle protection and he's your covering, I would say that it would be worse for the female to leave the relationship than the man because the man is typically supposed to lead anyway. Anything gonna fall on his shoulders. But I seen more women leave relationships and go straight downhill after they left their relationship more so than I seen a man left a relationship. He still typically stays in the same position. If he was whatever type of relationship he had or whatever type of lifestyle he had for the most part, unless one of these guys that married he had a lot of money, but the typical guy that leaves a relationship, he ends up just being in the same type of relationship, going through the same stuff. But I've seen women leave the right type of guy because they complain about cheating and just go straight downhill because she may have needed that leadership role. So I think if a female has the guy that has that leadership role, even though I know y'all might say cheating ain't part of leadership, but if he had the bills paid, he had her being comfortable, he had her not being on Section 8, not being in the hood, not being around toxic people, living in comfort zone, and she leaves him and cheat, a lot of times it don't go well for them. So I think it's more reasonable that a female can forgive a man more so than a man forgive a female.
So basically, we're congratulating
Yeah,
a fish for
that whole
swimming.
shit was a
I want
joke.
I want to ask
I don't
something.
think nobody should be cheating in general. So I mean, I think you shouldn't be cheating in general. But
Like,
I think it's more important that females get other aspects of a man than just the cheating, more so than dudes with women. That's just my opinion on it.
I don't feel that shit applies to like right now. Bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
Right, right.
Like straight up. I don't think that just because our simple fact, like 2022, like I could see it. This was like, the 80s being the shoulders. Like I think shit will now, like just with like males and females, they're not if they looking for like a leadership thing, they making their money. I ain't even gonna stunt. Like they doing they shit too. I mean, if they looking for something just to lead or whatever, like you say protection. Like a lot when like people leave situations like how it is now, people really kind of doing themselves. They just come, just all right. We gonna add our shit together. They leaving out the same way they had. They ain't been like, damn, the wife, the woman can save them. We coming in with our own shit. I don't. Not in these times. No.
All right, so I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna try to understand something real quick. I'm gonna ask everybody individually because I'm gonna go around the board. Josh, I'm start with Josh. If you were to choose to get married, let's just say next year, why would you get married?
Crickets.
It's funny, bro.
There's a reason for why I'm asking, and I'm explaining it after I go through everybody too. But there's a reason for why I'm asking.
If I get married next year, I guess I'll find the one who makes me fall in love because I have a hard time expressing my feelings and accepting love because you know I was in love with this girl, blah blah blah, but it would have to make me. She would make me have to fall in love.
So you would get it would be you would get married because of the love.
Yeah, because I got everything else I need.
Okay, Mike, if you were to get married next year, why would you get married?
It's all the strength of like my feelings, y'all. It ain't finances, even though that's why.
So love too.
Basically,
yeah.
Matt, if you
Wait, hold on. Before you go to that one though, that comment you made earlier, I don't think that was. I'm gonna say like, not disrespecting the culture, whatever. Like we ain't white, man. Like we stand together for the kids. Like we ain't. Like who's doing that? Like your feelings does matter. Like who said you got to be empty out the kids' life just because you and the spouse or whatever don't get along or cheated or whatever? That ain't gonna stop me from doing what I gotta do for the kids. Well, you said earlier, but
no, I'm gonna address that in my breakdown, but I want everybody to go first if I do it. Matt, if you were to get married next year, why would you get married?
Just because number one, because I want a family. Number two, I feel like I'd be greater. Like she brings more value to my life, where I'd be greater with her, more so than if I was moving as an individual. And then the family aspect, it's like building together.
Okay, Izzy, if you was to get married next year, why would you get married?
Well, I probably would get married just to be understood because I spend a lot of time I work with the community a lot, and sometimes it's like you kind of put on a front when you're out in the world, but it's nice to like come home and like have someone understand you, know how to cater to you. And of course I have to understand myself and make myself happy and things like that, but you just want someone who can elevate that and vice versa and build and grow and have a beautiful family. So yeah, that's why I would want to get married.
Caprice, if you was to get married next year, why would you get married?
You can hear me?
Yeah.
I would get married purely based on love. And I say that because I already got kids. I'm already financially stable. I'm already leading myself. So the only reason for me to get married is love. And I don't want no more kids, so it's not for family.
So the reason why I ask, and it also actually answers my next question. That's why it's understandable why everybody would say they would leave. Because y'all whole reasons for even getting involved is purely based upon y'all feelings in the first place. That y'all don't actually realize that to come with somebody that you're deciding that there is something greater than you as an individual. That when you decide to come together with a person, it's the building, like kind of how Matt tapped into, that there is something that she brings that makes you greater. It helps you. You also bring something that makes her greater and make her excel. And family typically comes, so then kids come into the picture, and then there is something greater than just you.
Why you don't answer the
as
question?
An individual.
You
I am
get
going to
married
answer the
next
question. I am going to answer the question.
Your birthday.
I am going to answer the question. If you let me rock, I can get to it. It was literally going to come after my spill because everything I'm saying is literally going to be the reason of why. So I'm about to feed it to you. So that's why it's understandable why every one of y'all would actually exit. So one of the reasons
About why would I exit?
No. Well, I asked everybody else. I think you was cutting in and out, so I never was able to ask you directly because it was during the time I was asking about the throwing the entire value out the window. But it really wasn't about the why you would exit. So one of the reasons why I bring that up, I have been in this situation before because I've been married, and I wouldn't leave based off of cheating, and I still would, if I got married again, would not leave because of cheating or because of finances or anything like that. Because my whole purpose of getting with you is because I understand that we're supposed to be coming together for something greater than our individual selves. If my focus point is going to be upon my individual self, I might as well stay the fuck single. There's no reason to include you at all. Like, I don't need you just to be like, I can love you without being in a relationship with you. I can love you without all these other things there. If we're just going to talk about my fucking feelings of love, I can love without the restrictions and the boundaries. If we're just going to talk about love. So I would come together with a woman because we're trying to embark upon something much greater than us. Even though I already have kids, if I bring a woman into this fold, you have to mean something for those kids. We have to be a pinnacle for these kids. We have to be a system for those kids. We also have to be that same system for each other, that level of support and that level of building with each other. I want that person there. That person there that when I'm fighting against the world, that person got my back. And even if she was to slip up and cheat, that doesn't mean she wouldn't have my back still, because we like talking about loyalty. Loyalty just simply means they wouldn't go nowhere. Infidelity, that doesn't mean that they're not loyal to you.
Well, we talk about typically the word we used earlier. Typically, if a female, is having,
and I ask everybody, we got off typically, and I asked everybody individually and personal then.
I'm going back to typically, and I'm saying typically, if when a woman cheats, usually she has more feelings or loyalty towards the person she's cheating with than the person that she's with. So if I'm not number one on the totem pole to you, as far as I can see your family, your dad or something like that, but if I ain't number one on the totem pole, even if we run this family as the business, there's an issue there if somebody got more pull. Like, I think more dudes can cheat and not have female feelings for the female than females can cheat, and that other guy don't got some type of influence over your female.
I disagree with that. That if she cheats, I disagree that her loyalty goes with it. Because there are a lot of women who cheat and they still come home.
I went mad on that. Like loyalty, bro. Like, you telling me like you being able to cheat, that's not breaking.
That's not loyalty. What is loyalty?
Wait, before you get into that, Before you before that, I know you love going by this book shit. I know, and it's the right thing. But hear me out. All right, you got loyalty. Let's just say friendship wise. You know what I'm saying? You loyal to a loyal friend or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You gonna do something to put. You know what I'm saying? Betray that. That can go to like a relationship thing too. Like,
So the
loyalty,
reason why I'm asking, right?
Can I
infidelity,
ask a question?
infidelity could feed into loyalty. I feel like it do.
The reason why I'm asking that, right? So I can understand if y'all make this the pinnacle of your relationship, and then you using the term loyalty towards it. If that's what you're letting the obligation be. Like if the obligation is purely upon this, then I can understand when you choose to use the term loyalty, because then you're saying that I'm only with you because you pretty much vowed to be for me and only for me.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
So I wanted to ask you the answer about the whole marriage thing changed, because I could have sworn we had a conversation about this and you said you don't ever want to get married again, and if you do, it would be purely for the woman because you love that woman. So now you're saying something different. So I'm trying to figure out, like, did your answer change or
I don't
what?
I don't know exactly what you're asking, because every time when I talk to people and people ask me about marriage, I keep telling people I would get married 100 times over because you only got to get it right once.
Mm.
Okay. Okay, because I
But
could have
if you're
sworn
trying to get at
you
something, no,
said
no, no, no,
that
no.
you
Listen,
want
listen.
to get
But
married again.
if you're
You
trying to say
get
something
married, it's
specific, say
purely
something
for the woman.
specific. Only thing I can tell you is what I'm saying right now. So you would have to bring back up the conversation exactly for me to answer you exactly. I don't have a problem with answering it, but I'm telling you what I'm saying right now. I understand what you.
I
I
asked
understand what you're saying, but this is what I'm telling you right now.
you, so it changed.
If you said I said something different, I guess it changed. But this is what I'm
Yes,
saying right
yes.
now.
You said it was purely for you don't want to get married again. I mean, you've said that plenty of times on the show. You said you've been married. You don't want to be married again. And if you do, it will be purely for the woman because you love that woman.
I ain't never said nothing about getting married for love. I think getting married for love is stupid. I ain't never said
I know
that.
you would say that.
I was about to say,
Right.
if you say that's a damn lie. I
Hold
always
on.
say getting married for
I
love is the most dumbest fucking shit ever. I ain't
so
You
never said that.
okay, you didn't use the word love, but
I,
you
I
said
know
it
I
would
ain't
be
never
for
said
you
that,
said
because
you
I'm
didn't
very
say
adamantly about that
you
whole
didn't
getting
say
married for
you didn't
love. I
say
think
love.
doing anything predicated off just your emotion is stupid.
You
That's
didn't say
anything.
love. You didn't say love, but you said it would be for that woman.
You talking about ceremonial.
No. I'm
You're
talking
talking about the
about marriage.
ceremonial side of marriage, right? You're talking about just
No, I'm
the
talking about
ceremony
being
of just getting
married.
married,
No,
right?
no, I'm talking about being married. You say
That's what I
you
just
don't
asked you.
want to. You say you don't want to be married again, but if the woman that you would want to be married, you would do it for her.
So I did not. So this is what I said. I did not say I didn't want to be married. I said I could care less about marriage. I'm not striving out here to try to
All right.
get married. If it comes along, then it comes along. I'm not against marriage. So I never said that I would never get married again. Once again, I always say this to people: I would get married 100 times over because you only got to get it right once. Is what
Okay.
I
So
always say. So I never said
oh,
I would never get married again. I don't know who could tell you that they ever heard me say I would never get married
this is
again.
this
I
is what
never
you told,
say this.
this is what you told me. Is not what you said. What somebody else told me. But I mean, we could agree that your answer has changed.
If you said I said something different, then I guess we're just gonna have to agree that it changed. But my stance is literally I will get married 100 times because you only got to get it right once. I'm not against marriage, not even a little bit.
I don't think
But if
marriage.
I was to get married, like I
Money.
said, it's predicated upon something being much bigger than the individual. It
Yeah,
would
and then
not be
you
for my
said,
fucking feelings.
and then you said the whole kids thing. Like we have to be the example for the children. I don't know if that's the exactly word you use, but basically, we have to, be the example for the children. And it's like, so is there a cap on the children age? Because once children become, especially if you already have kids, I'm talking about people that already have kids, and then you decide to get married, is that still something within a marriage? Because these kids could be already like almost out the house. So will that be something that keeps the marriage together?
Date on it. Might as well.
What's your question? What's the question? What's the question more direct? Because
my direct question is, depending on the children's age, does that whole concept of we're doing it, we're coming together for the kids, and we have to be example for the kids, is that still valid? If the children are, by the time you get married, the children are on the way out the house. They're already teenagers, grown up.
So what I was saying wasn't speaking to people staying together just for the kids. I was literally telling you that if we're going to be married, that it's much bigger than us. This whole family structure that is much bigger than us, of why we would fight to stay together. I didn't say anything about just simply staying for just the children. Because I know Mike mentioned that earlier, but I didn't say that we were going to somebody just staying just for their children.
No, it's like you gotta throw out emotion. You gotta throw emotion.
What I'm saying, what I was saying that you said that it's more bigger than us is the children. We have to, if a woman.
I named a few things, and I'm talking all these things inclusive. Don't pick one thing out. I mean everything together.
I'm picking that one thing out because I had a question on that one thing. Is that still valid when the children on a certain age that the children are? What if they're already on their way out the house, or what if I'm talking about a blended family, like you?
I think the disconnect is the disconnect is he's saying something that's greater than just the two. He's not saying a specific incident. It's not one specific incident that can make something greater or not greater. He's talking about when he says greater, he means he's encompassing a lot of things. So he can't be broken down to something individual because it's bigger than something even individual.
Which was my point, because even though you're trying to address something directly, it still wouldn't be covering the point, because there are multiple things that's going in this thing at one time. It's not an individual thing. Even though you're trying to ask me an individual question.
I get that it's multiple things, but what I'm saying is, does the whole children thing, is that still valid? Because if you decide to get married, you already got kids, you marry somebody.
The age thing don't matter. The age thing does not matter. It has nothing to do with their age. Because my job is to be an example for my kids until I'm dead. So the age thing does not matter. My job is to guide my children until I'm gone. So I don't understand the age thing that you're talking about. Because if I'm still with a woman, as these kids older, they're still going to need guidance. They're still going to need to navigate through the world as far as these jobs, as far as relationships and all this other stuff like that. So just because they're of a certain age does not mean our teachings will stop. So
I think she means
still be a force that's there. So it has nothing to do with
staying in the relationship part.
Too specifically, I'm talking about the women coming in. If they already have a mother that's guiding them, already have a father that's guiding them, is the purpose of your new wife is to guide as well when they already have the guidance? How can that person guide your? How can she come in and be like, the marriage is greater than us and we got to guide these kids when they're already being guided and then they're already grown? So, like, what role does she play in your kid's life?
She's gonna play the exact same role that their mother plays in their life, because you get influence from way more than one person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your kids learn from more than just you. Just because you might not want to touch on something or don't tell your kids something, they still got to learn from the rest of the world. They still got to meet people. They still have to learn. So if I got remarried, that's still another person who contributes to their growing of it. That's why they always say it takes a village to raise a child, because there's going to be multiple people who play a part into the inspirations of them kids growing and learning. So she's going to play the exact same role as the mother would play.
The same role as the biological mother.
What would be different?
That same
What
would be different?
And like she's taking over that person's role.
Ideals, like, we don't understand when you come into a relationship with grown kids, they don't be caring about who they father and mother married to. They already grown and they got their parents. They ain't really worrying about the next woman or man.
I didn't direct it towards grown kids. I mean, we were simply speaking in general.
That's why I asked, is it a certain age?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because you still have to play a job. Even if your people get married, your parent or somebody get married and they're older, that person still has an effect upon your life still, in a sense. depending on how close you are with your parent, though. Because if you are super close with your mother and your mother got remarried, you cannot tell me that man still would not having he wouldn't play a part even in your life, especially if you're close with your mother. Now, if you ain't even close with your people, then I can understand what you're saying, because it wouldn't matter if they got married again, because you ain't fucking with your mama or your daddy like that anyway. So it wouldn't make a difference.
I agree with that when it's the mother remarrying. I think it's when the father is remarried, because most likely the children are living with the mother. So when the father be remarried, that woman is not spending as much time with them kids because they live with their mother.
That depends on the type of relationship that depends on the type of situation that they have. Because they might have a joint custody situation. They might have, it just depends on the particular setup. Because there are some kids who they might live with their mother but still spend a lot of time with their father. So it just depends on the particular situation.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
just because the child live with their mama don't mean they don't see their daddy a lot now.
It does depend on the situation. I agree with that. But I guess I was trying to speak too specific on like people that have, children that's living in other states or far away that,
I think you're trying to get at like, and well, the kids gone, and then you say you get married for a greater cause. So it's like when the kids are gone, then what is it then? You stand right. Greater cause.
So like I said in the beginning, because I said something before I got there. I said by getting with that person, you're choosing to be in any partnership or join with somebody means you're leaving the independent life alone and you're trying to come together for something bigger. You see, there has to be a value for you personally of why you would choose to join somebody, unless you're telling me your only reason for getting with a person is just off your own personal feelings of I like you so much that I say I love you and that's why I deal with you. It has to be greater than that, because if that's just the case, then I would agree with y'all. Oh yeah, if that's the pinnacle of why y'all doing it, and it's just my feelings and I love you, they gonna fail. They gonna fail every time. If that's the basis of it. But the point was that there has to be something greater. If I got with a woman, it's because by me viewing you means I see something greater, that me and you together make up something greater than us apart. So if something was to happen, it's not worth throwing it all on the line, because we didn't get together for our feelings. We got together for something. It's just like this, right? If we came together, right, and started a business and say it blew up to be a Fortune 500 company. Now, if we get in our feelings, are you mean to tell me your feelings is worth throwing away the complete company?
Fuck no.
So it has to be worth something greater to you than just the fact that, oh, you made me mad. Oh, you know what, dog? You pissed me off. I ain't like how you fucked off that money. Fuck this whole company. Let's all these thousands of people, everybody out of a job. Fuck all this. So you mean to tell me everything goes out the window? That's the same concept that I'm applying even when it comes to the family structure, though. So because somebody falls within their feelings, whether it's finances, infidelity, or whatever, why do we take the placement of saying, you know what, fuck all this. You piss me off. I don't trust you. Fuck that. Y'all, them kids, hey, single parenthood, this is where we going. You ain't gonna see your daddy, but maybe every other weekend ever. My point is, why do everything get thrown out? Because your ego is damaged.
In my situation, I'm not saying that you
said it, but I wouldn't just throw it all away just based off my feelings. But what I was about to say, I do agree with what you're saying, but you asked me if I was to get married next year. So I'm not really building the business with nobody. I'm not building anything with anybody to be like, if I get married next year, it would be way more greater than love, because nothing is happening right now. So I guess if you ask me later on when I'm building, then it would be different.
Mm-hmm.
My situation personally is bigger than love, because I cannot be in love. Like, I would stay with a woman that I'm not in love with, that stayed faithful, more so than I would stay in a relationship with a female I'm in love with, but she cheated. So, I mean, mine ain't attached to love. The cheating thing is more of a trust dynamic, more so than just love.
So that was my next question. My next question is love enough? And you pretty much answered it.
Yeah, love ain't enough for me.
So, and that's the reason of why I asked before, like asked everybody first to see why would they even, if they were to get married, why would they do it?
Because I got one thing I want to say too, and this is me too.
Well, that's different.
If we go by the concept, hold on a second, Caprice. If we go by the concept. Go ahead. What you say, Caprice?
I said that was a different question. Like, if he would have just blatantly asked, like, why would you get married? Then my answer would be different. But you said, if next year, why would you get married next year? All I can base on was going.
God, you
right
still
now.
on
You cannot sit here and tell me that you were being that technical with a basic question. The next year part wasn't even that relevant. It was literally the why would you get married?
Be specific with your question.
It was literally the simply why would you get married? And I unearthed exactly what I wanted to hear. Because that was literally the point. The point was simply why would you do it?
But hey, so this is my point. This is my point. When the question you just asked was, is love enough? And my whole thing is the same way we said about, like, you made the analogy about if it's based on love, it ain't gonna survive. But if it's based on business partners, I don't need a wife to have a business partner. You know, I can have a homeboy to have a business partner. I can have any regular female that you don't have sex with to have a business partner.
I didn't give my example to say that you were going into business with a loved one. It was the analogy of a business partner, because marriages is partnerships. So the example of a business is speaking on partnerships. So whether it's your homeboy, whether it's your mama, whether it's your cousin, it's still based upon a partnership. It has nothing to do with a spouse. It's based upon a partnership, because that's what marriage is.
That's my point. That's my point.
You got to be married to be in a
My
partnership.
point is
marriage is a partnership.
I'm not. But my point personally is that I can operate you can have, of course, marriage is a business. Of course, it's naturally going to be a business. I don't have an issue with that. But I have to be getting something in the marriage that I wouldn't get anywhere else. That's what makes marriage important. I mean, special to me. And the loyalty that comes with a female, the faithfulness that comes with a female, that would be one of the things. If you ain't going to be faithful, everything you're giving me is something I can get without being married. When you're giving me sex, you're giving me good business relationships, everything else you give me, I can get that without getting relationships. The only thing I would need a relationship with for is your faithfulness. So that's why I look at it. That's why I say that's one of the many things you can offer. Everything else, I don't need to be married to get. I can get kids without that. I get everything else without having to be married. So I have to be getting something that I wouldn't get without it. And that's tied to monogamy to me personally. That's why I look at that as such a deal breaker for me more so than other things.
And I agree with that same sentiment. I think that's the same angle of a conversation like me and Caprice have had, and that's what she was getting at when she was saying that I said I wouldn't do it. Because I stand on the concept of this is not necessary.
Yeah.
But addressing that it is not necessary is not saying that I would not do it. You get what I'm saying?
But you didn't. I mean, you said it's not necessary too, but you verbatim said I don't want to be married again. If I do it, it would be for the women.
So y'all, is love enough? Caprice, since you talking, is love enough?
No. I'm finding out. No.
You finding out what?
Love ain't enough.
Okay. Izzy, is love enough?
For myself, not for the other person.
What does that mean? Is it enough to salvage the relationship?
Wait, what?
Is love enough to salvage the relationship?
I mean, no, to answer your question shortly and bluntly, no.
Josh, is love enough?
Nah, big dog. Nah, little bro, it's not. It's not.
Mike,
I wish it was. I wish it was.
Mike, love enough?
Yep.
You said it's enough?
Yep. My emotions is very important. My emotions are very so yeah.
I actually agree with
So if
Mike.
she cheats, she might as well stay then.
Mm-mm.
If love is enough, if she cheat on Mike Joe, then he might as well stay because you still love her, right?
Mm.
Because I'm saying love is not enough. That's why I would leave. So if you say love is enough, then you're saying that some things are more bendable or breakable. Then
That's saying love is right.
you kind of broke up. What was that?
Say it again because you
Huh?
kind of broke up when you were saying it.
That's you think love is enough for me to leave, right?
No,
No, I'm
is love enough to salvage the
Relationship.
relationship?
Stay.
Love is
Is
a
it enough to work it out? Is it enough to salvage it?
oh damn, I got it messed up then.
I figure you misinterpreted the
Yeah,
question.
Yeah, because it would sound kind of
I was like,
hypocritical.
wow.
Yeah, you go completely against what you said
But
earlier.
Kevin said he agreed.
Refreshing.
So you saying that love is enough?
It is enough.
to stay like do anything, basically. That's what you mean? Nah, fuck.
Is love enough for you to salvage the relationship?
Yeah, to get rid of it.
No,
That's
salvage
not
it
what
to fix
salvage
it.
means. Salvage means you're gonna fight
To
for
fix
it. That means
it.
you want to keep it together.
I thought salvage. You think of a salvage title car. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like shit. Like, hey,
What?
hey, no, but straight up, nah. I changed. Yeah, I changed. So don't agree with me. Yeah,
It's all
my,
right, Mike.
my bad, bro.
So,
Love is the icing.
the question I was gonna go back to because I'm gonna ask Izzy and Caprice because Izzy spoke to the concept of um when we was talking about
Finance.
finances. She was talking
Mhm.
about potential. If well, Izzy say love ain't enough though. So
It
if
ain't. I wish.
so going kind of going back to what like how Matt had asked you. So if the guy okay, first before I do that, do he need to make a certain amount of money though for you, or he just need to be working?
Damn.
Mm.
Because I need to know the baseline.
Mm.
What's the in
Woo.
that?
Woo.
Like,
I need to know the baseline before I go into it.
um,
I don't want to assume.
I mean, okay, so like I don't want to put a finite amount. I think you should always be making like you should always be going up, not down. So, I mean, I'm not just going to focus on like a set amount of money that you have to make, but like you're going to have to, make enough money to take care of yourself, take care of me, take care of the kid, take care of the dog, take care of the house, take care of the car, take care of the groceries.
What the fuck you paying for?
Huh?
Well, that person don't like dogs.
What?
Okay,
Wait, y'all are just wait. One at a time. One at a time.
I was
Too
about
many
to say y'all niggas
questions.
is crazy. So Josh responded. Well, let's do Mike response because his response was a lot easier to address. He said, "What if he don't like dogs?"
We have to have some sort of animal. I like dogs. That's all that matters. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, he's gonna like dogs. He's gonna like dogs. Who doesn't like dogs? Who doesn't like dogs? Like, come on.
What?
So Josh responded, "What you gonna be doing?" Because you named a lot of things that he gonna be taking care of. So Josh's response was, "Damn, what the hell you gonna be doing if he taking care of the house, taking care of the car, taking care of the kids, taking care of you, taking care of himself, taking care?"
I was speaking more. So you labeled this conversation in the financial aspect. That's the umbrella it falls over. He takes care of the finances. That is gonna take care of that. But I'm gonna be the one to take care of the babies. I'm gonna take care of the house. Take care of the dogs. I'm not mowing the grass or like taking out the
So
trash or
you
anything
don't
like
want
that.
to
But
work a regular 9 to 5 then?
I mean, I want to be. I just want to be with my kids. So I don't really. I definitely want something going for myself, but it would be to my own comfort, so I can put my kids first if I need to.
So if you are getting money, what is your money going towards the situation? The situation can be the kids, just the family structure. What is your money going towards?
What?
Yeah.
If you making money, and you saying he's paying all those things, then what is your money what's being done with your part of the money if you making money yourself?
I don't understand that question. I'm sorry.
What the fuck you doing with your money?
Still don't understand. I'm not computing that. I'm
So
sorry.
okay, let me help him out. Let me help him out. So I guess we'll do it this way. Are you going to be helping paying any of these things?
Why would I?
So there's your answer, guys.
No, I got that, but she said something about the kids though. What is your money going towards? Like putting the kids in private school? Is it going towards you buying all the presents for the family? Like, is it going towards anything that's going to be a consistent thing that we can expect of you?
Maybe in the aspect of like, like if I'm out with my kids, but at the same time, like I'm probably gonna have like the credit card or something. I don't know. So
and that ain't gonna work.
For you.
That ain't gonna work.
So what if he's like? Because Matt asked this earlier, so I'm gonna ask it again. But what if he's comfortable? Like, let's say he can take care of those things, right? The necessities, but then the extra things, like you might want to extra this for maybe your hair, or extra this because you want to take a trip, or extra spa, extra. What if he take care of all the necessities, but then when it comes to those things, it's like, oh no, I ain't doing none of that because he's taking care of so much of the other load. What would be your response?
I mean, this is the thing. This is why I said you have to be comfortable. Like, no, we're not doing all these back and forth with the finances. I don't want to be uncomfortable asking you for money. Like, it's not it. Like, and the reason why, I mean, eventually, maybe not at first. I'd be like, whatever, but eventually it will be, of course.
So you find it great if you find a great man that's a good person, and he needs help with the finances. Like 40, 60. He pays 60, you pay 40% of the bills. You're not cool with that?
Ooh, child, that man is not for me.
Man, what?
So you want a man to pay all the bills?
I mean, why are you guys laughing? Like, yes, I would. That's the goal.
Would you about to ask him, Mike?
These ain't the Flintstone age. Everybody gotta bring something to the table now. I mean,
of course I do. Like, of course I would. Like, just because you're bringing money to the table doesn't mean I'm not bringing anything. Literally, everything that I said was based off of money and finances.
But I'm saying, like, the year that we in now, women are on their own, doing these things, got these good jobs or whatever. You telling me, like, if we come together, you know what I'm saying, we supposed to bring like equal shit to the table. Not just necessarily finances, but you know what I'm saying, all feelings, finances, whatever. All above.
So Beyonce is the 8.
So to work all the time.
This is the thing, though. You guys always, I feel like whenever this topic of the conversation comes up, you guys act I literally isolated it to finances. I didn't say you have to give birth. I didn't even say you have to take the kids to school. I just said finances. And I feel like a lot of men get emotional about this topic. It's just finances. Like,
so I think when most men, these conversations come up, most men keep it on tangible items. And a lot of times when women talk about what they bring, is usually an intangible versus a tangible. And that's usually where the big disconnect comes in. Because most men, when they hear it and you start naming this stuff, they're like, okay, this is a tangible. And that's what makes like somebody like Josh respond like, so what are you going to be bringing? So when he's asked what you bring, he want to hear something tangible. He don't want to hear it intangible. He want to hear it tangible. So he want to say, what do you bring tangibly that we can touch?
This is the thing, though. I feel like you guys really downplay the role of a woman in the house. Like, I really do think you guys do.
Well, he didn't downplay it because he asked the question.
Well,
he didn't assume now on fair use. He asked now. Now, if he just automatically said you did nothing, then he would be wrong. But he asked. Since you said it, he was like, so what do you bring? So he's not downplaying. He's actually asking for the understanding.
Well,
yeah, but before you answer, for Man like me, I know how to cook. I know how to clean. I know how to wash clothes. I know how to do everything y'all do besides give birth and all that shit. I know how to handle my own finances. So if you can't offer me nothing else but giving birth, what can you do for me? Cause I can do
Okay, and
everything
this is
y'all
why
do.
you're single. Like, what do you mean? Like, what? Like,
So to help better understand we'll put it in the wide parameter and take it off finances. What are some of the things that you would put in as like the bringing
so
to better help guys understand? Because I guarantee you it's a tangible versus intangible mentality.
okay. So I just feel like the things that I would bring that would be a help to you guys is I feel like okay, so you see like our community, right? And you see like, our community being raised basically by the system, I feel like, if you have someone that's able to stay at home who you know and you trust, that loves your kids, who's able to take care of them, who's able to feed them the right nutrition, to help educate them, to help guide them, to help, really like help manage them and teach them the ways of life while you're out working. And like, if we have a son, maybe you can like, you of course you're going to be able to like help, and he's going to be inspired by his dad because he sees him going and making money. I just feel like we need more Black families who are able to stay home and sit with their kids rather than help them being raised by a system who we claim doesn't love us or doesn't care about us or won't give us the promotion or won't give us the right, like, the right wages. I just feel like, when you're little, you are the person who's going to be absorbing the most information about what the world is. I don't think we should just throw them in a world that doesn't love them, or so we claim. I feel like we should really just have, you know their parents stay at home and protect them as much as possible. That's just so we can raise a community that's able to like really be strong, so they can reach the potential that we are actually supposed to reach. We have it like where, we have a lot of single parents who are broken, who are not home, who are not home, and children are not like getting like the proper and adequate care that they need. And that is literally a reflection of the community right now. But if we change things where I'm able to stay home, or women are able to stay home and really take care of their kids and love them like they need to love them, then it's gonna be a good investment, is my opinion. I feel like, sometimes we don't look at that as like an investment, because it's like, well, I'm working hard, you need to work as hard as me, or da 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 da. But I feel like we should work harder, not smarter. You should be working, and to the point where at least someone can stay home and raise the kids. You yourself said, like, we need to come together and raise these kids because we need to be like the proper examples for them. Well, wouldn't that be the best fit for them to actually have someone stay at home and take care of them, rather than having them stay at home, or stay at school for 8 hours, come home, and they're waiting for their mom or dad to come home, and then they fall asleep before they even get home. Like, that's not how I want my kids to be raised, honestly. And truly, I have these standards because I had it set for me. Like, I had it to where, thankfully, like, I had my dad, take care of us and provide for us, and that's what I want for myself. So I went to private school, I did all that, so this is what I want for my children. So yeah.
No, that's a great answer. I don't think nobody had a problem with what you said, though. I think that
Nah, but like, y'all
question
were like coming for me about the finance. Like, I was on
No,
some
'cause the
some type of
question
like
was,
sugar baby or something. Like, no,
because you
like
said
there's
you
more
want
to
your own
that.
thing, because you was mixing it up with saying you want your own thing going as well, and you want to make your own money. So if you're making your own money, you're not going to have enough time to be doing all that you just described. And you say your money isn't going nowhere. So then it comes off like, what the hell are you doing then? But now you're saying if that's your main focus is family structure, then it kind of goes to what KJ said as far as you talking about tangible and intangible. You're saying that yours is going to be more intangible and tangible. But you're doing something that's bringing value to the relationship, not just working and taking your money and just not doing nothing, which is what I think people were getting at first.
Well, I honestly do think that, like, to feel whole in myself, I would want to do something. And, we live in the age where you can work from home and make a decent income. I do it already. So it's like, I, again, like, I feel like, if anything, like my money should go into savings, like, I feel like, my partner should be able to like cover like what we need. And if anything, like my money would just go into savings, and it can be like a rainy day fund. Maybe like if he ever like lost his like career, or if he's sick or something like that, then like, if worst comes to worst, we have that, or so the kids and like the family can be good. I feel like we just shouldn't burn through all our assets. Like if we're like, usually a lot of the times people come together, for marriage because of assets, to combine like family wealth and fortunes and things like that. So I really think that, you shouldn't really be getting married if you really aren't financially stable. Like, I feel like that's just like a ticking time bomb waiting to happen.
If y'all were to separate and get a divorce, could
Boy,
he get half of the savings, since you was doing a
you
lot of saving and he was
you
paying
could,
for everything? If
woo,
y'all
you
got a
could
divorce, you gonna give him half of the savings, right? Since you was having savings, even though he was paying everything.
Wait, what?
If y'all were to get a divorce, would you give him half of the savings?
I already know that answer. Crickets.
crickets. See,
Izzy, I want to hear it.
that
Would
was
you
my
give him half
point.
of the savings?
Why would I do that? If I was like mentally ill, maybe.
But see, that was
Wait.
see, that was my point. That was my
So
point.
wait. So
Why would I give him Why would I give him my money when we're getting divorced? I need all the money I need. Like,
wait.
Family. Why he's not tied to.
So wait. Hold up. See, that's the problem right there.
Yes.
Nah, y'all just want to argue. Y'all want to argue tonight. Y'all want to argue tonight.
No.
It's fine.
It's not that. I'm pointing out where the disconnect is, though. All that he's putting in, right? Tangible. He putting in all this other stuff like that, and then you turn around and said, "My money." So at what point is it really a y'all? Like, it's a y'all as long as you're benefiting from it. But the moment it's over, it's you. And realistically, it's still you even while you're in the situation.
But you said divorce, so why would I give him my money for separating? Like, I said that it could be a rainy day fund. If he's leaving me, you're not getting my money.
But it was for the family though. If you had those finances there for the family, whether y'all make it or don't make it,
yeah, my family. If he's leaving, then I'm gonna take care of my family.
But it's part of his family too.
If you're divorcing me, then you're divorcing me. You're not my family anymore. You're not my blood. You're not my brother. You're not my son.
What if you divorcing him? What if you just don't want to be there no more?
If I don't want to be there anymore, then I mean,
you still ain't gonna give him half.
Crickets.
Since you leaving now, can you leave him half? Because you the one leaving now.
No. So like I said,
I haven't got that far in the thought process of that yet, but
that's why I said it's not going to work.
Fact.
Well,
and I get it. Like,
you're trying to poke holes, and I don't like that. I don't like that.
It always makes sense to the person who's doing the receiving, but the person who's doing the giving. Like, all that giving and doing this right here, remember, it's for the family. But I guarantee you, if the man was to start, if the man had ended up saying, "Oh no, well, you leaving with nothing then, since I paid for everything and this, and this," most women gonna have an issue with that too, because they're gonna be like, "Well, if it's for the family, now they're gonna be looking at him like he hypocritical and he full of shit because he now trying to walk with an independent mind frame, since clearly the family structure just didn't work."
Oh nah, we're gonna have things in my name, so yeah.
Why would it be in your name if he's paying for everything? That makes
sense. It could be in our name, but you know.
Why?
Because it's ours.
So why? So if you got all these things saved up and you're gonna leave, why do you need to have any of the other stuff if you're gonna leave and you got the savings anyway? So you want the savings and you want what was in the family too.
Yes.
Damn.
Woo! I'm be that man that Tyler
surprise.
Hey, you
I want it all.
see that Tyler Perry movie
Cold
with
blooded
Janet
boy.
Jackson?
Whoa, shit.
I'm gonna be that nigga.
Damn.
That's selfish.
Mm-hmm.
That's selfish.
See, that's the
Well,
reason. Like Izzy say, that's the reason I'm single now. Fuck that. Fuck that.
So
We got to get your boy. We got to get your boy to cut that up and put a clip out on that. That's a moment right there.
that's crazy.
Between me and you too, Izzy.
Everybody entitled to do what they want to do. Feel how they want to feel. So, hey, but that's crazy.
But it goes to my point.
what? No, but I want to know what exactly is crazy about my concept, though.
My thing is, look, y'all together. Y'all was together. Y'all doing all this. Oh, this is us when y'all together. He's providing. He's doing everything. He's paying for everything. So my thing, if you going on finance, you going off this money shit. So you doing the saving for a rainy day. All right, it's a divorce. That's not a rainy day. That's not. Oh, he spent all his money. So you telling me this man still gotta work? Y'all divorced. Oh, he gotta pay child support. You telling me he cannot have you're not gonna give him nothing. You just gonna leave that man out to dry just because y'all got a divorce.
If he was
all,
able to provide for the family,
and
he
y'all
should be
doing,
fine.
but y'all doing no, and y'all doing. Oh, what you gonna say? You take care of the kids. You taking care of. See, that's where the system is fucked up. Got women like because men already fighting an uphill battle with this court system shit. Anyway, I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10, going. What do you think about child support? Let's go with that.
Support your child.
Oh, so okay, so you agree with it. All right, so bet.
Oh,
You want to go
Lord.
child support shit, right? All right. We already losing extra.
Support your children. What? It came from
This
your
system,
nut. Like, what do you
is
mean?
built to keep this system is built to keep a black man down. How I feel. So you telling me
How?
this man still got to work. This man still got to support his kids. He was doing
Okay.
it when y'all was together. Now you making it hard
Okay.
because he's alone. Now he got to throw an extra maybe $500 to the kids. He's not making money. He probably ain't got no place to stay. He probably gonna stay with his mama. You know what I'm saying? So you making it
Oh
hard.
no, I would never marry a man that has to stay with his mama if we divorce.
No, he's talking about upon. He's talking about upon separation. He's talking about upon the separation.
Divorce.
Even
But
so,
you're not gonna. You're not gonna care about that because you taking care of the kids. That's all that matters, right?
this is the thing. You guys are acting like I'm some type of blood-sucking mosquito. Like,
So
I'm not. I'm
man,
not. I'm not. I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm not like an evil person. I literally just said that I literally despise cheaters. I despise everything about that. And I don't really believe in divorce, really, truly. Like, you know, I'm the type of person to try to stay together. But if we really fall apart,
you cannot tell me you would leave a situation somebody cheated and then tell me that I don't believe in divorce really.
I mean, I don't, but if it's your fault, then of course I have the right to like leave if I have to.
My thing is,
If you're doing the deeds and you're making the bed, if you're making the bed to in the template to have me have the choice to probably have to leave you with a choice that you chose, that it's like, of course that like I don't have to, but at the same time, I don't want to be with someone who's gonna literally embarrass me and put me down. Like I don't deserve that.
So let's take the have to off the table then, because that's not the case. It's literally still you just making a choice for yourself. Don't say you have to, because we know you don't have to.
Well,
because when people say I don't have to, they make it seem like they backed us up against the wall when that's not the case.
Well, you didn't have to cheat, and if that's what happened, or whatever you did to like, you know, break the togetherness of our relationship, then it's like, or the glue of our relationship, then at that point, it's like, what else are you gonna do to do that?
If he asks for you to split half the rent, that's cool.
Huh?
What if he asks you, can y'all split the rent?
She said, "Huh?" I mean, no. She heard.
No, I want her to say it. I want to see where these have tos lie. That's why I'm asking. If he asks, because we ain't talking about cheat. We know your stance when it comes to cheating. But
no cheat.
If he asks, yo, baby, can we gonna have to split this rent, man?
Why would we have to split? Like, what's going on? What's going on with your job? You need to ask for a raise. Like, what's going on?
But you making money as well, though. Why is it a question of that? Well, you should be like, yeah, baby, we can take care of that. Why are you questioning his positioning? I don't understand.
If he is literally ill, then okay. But like,
why
if
does
you
he
are
have to be ill for it though?
because
if he say, baby, can we split the rent?
I wouldn't
be. Rent.
You're putting me in.
He's already paying both car payments. He already paying the insurance and all this other stuff like that. He's taking care of all the other stuff. And he said, well, baby, the biggest thing is always the mortgage. Can we simply split the mortgage?
I don't like that you're putting me in these situations. I'm not gonna be in this situation, so.
Hey,
unless he's sick. But
you say that you're not a gold digger, but sound to me like you want a man with a lot of money.
Oh, hey, she's entitled to feel how she want to feel. I her own opinion, bro. I think you can't change her mind. So hey,
I'm not trying to change it. I'm asking the scenarios just to see how.
What is this hazing that you guys are doing? What is this hazing?
You say you're not a gold digger, but sound to me you want a rich ass man.
I don't want a broke one. So what?
There's no in between.
Do you want an ugly girl? Like you want a pretty one, right? There's
no in between. You either rich or you broke.
There's no in between. Yes or no.
I said originally I said comfortable, and now y'all are just like
wait. But I asked that question though. What if his comfortability is different than from yours though? Because you're also saying that his comfortability wouldn't be enough or acceptable for you as well. So really, it's about your comfortability, not about his. It's all about is he making you comfortable? Right?
Well, I am there. It is my life, right? So I have that choice.
So my question is it safe to say that it has nothing to do with his comfortability though? That's what I'm asking.
I mean, in the grand scheme of my life, it's my life. So if his life he's comfortable, that's cool. In my life, I want to be comfortable. And if you are not fit for that comfortability, then you're not going to be there, and I'm not going to be there.
But comfortable, y'all can be comfortable with you paying a certain portion. That would make.
And I told you I don't want to do that. So stop putting that. Stop putting that in debate.
No. She said that. She said she's not comfortable with that.
No, but you don't know what you don't know though. Because how much of the bills are you paying right now?
That don't have to do with the question.
Oh wait, how much of your portion of the bills you paying right now?
Okay, you know what? Like
you paying all of them, right?
We're talking too much. There's just too much about me. We're just talking too much about me. I'm just gonna chill.
I got you, Izzy. I got you.
I don't like all these niggas coming after me. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Izzy, you said some triggering things, man. I mean,
clearly, y'all like
it's all right, man.
Yeah, we want to know what's going on. We don't know if you stand on what you're talking about.
No, I wasn't coming at her. I was just, I understand now. I wasn't trying to change her mind. I was trying to come at her.
We got to ask her a tough question.
No, I think you guys do understand I think you do understand what I want and where I'm coming from. You just don't understand it, and you don't want me to feel like that or think like that. But that's how I feel and think. So
I say you can't change.
No, all my questions. My question is to see if you shift. I could care less that you stand on your points, like because it's like how you say it's your life. So when I'm asking the question to see if there's a swaying of anything, of any sort, because there are a lot of times where people make statements and then when you start contextualizing certain things, you see they start pivoting. So I'm asking questions just to simply see if you would pivot. That's the only reason why I'm asking questions. Now I don't know about Chef Joe.
Nah.
Go ahead. Well, I am the type of person to have to go through things to understand why I came to the conclusion or the thought process that I'm in right now. I'm not the type of person to just be like, oh, well, on the internet, like this girl's getting paid this much or that much to be in a relationship. No, I was actually very, very, very broke and in love with a guy that I thought I was going to get married. But like he was an amazing guy. Like I really did think I was gonna get married to him. Like he took care of me. He understood me better than I understood myself. But the process of not having money was so detriment to like the relationship. It was surprising how, you know, it overrides literally everything. You know, like we went from living on our own to having to live to his parents' house, you know? And at that point it's like it's not even your relationship. It's like the parents' relationship, you know, they're gonna tell you what's up and judge you, and they're gonna grill you. And it's not even my parents, it's his. So it's like, you know, I've given guys that didn't have money chances multiple times, you know, like hoping that they would be good for me, you know, like, but literally it's like they robbed me of so much. Like I literally was in nursing school at a prestigious school, and I literally left, and I did so many things. So I don't really want to be like, you know, pinned as someone who's just like, oh, I want a rich man. Like there's a reason behind that, because I gave the broke ones a chance, and they literally took so much from me.
Extremes, though. You're using two extremes.
I mean,
you're using a man that got nothing versus the man that's rich. It's a medium between them.
I mean, I don't want a medium, because that means that like on a bad day it could really fall short, or maybe on a good. I don't. That's too unstable for me. That's too unstable. I need stability. I need comfortability.
Because you said a medium is unstable?
Huh?
You said the medium is unstable?
It could be.
I mean, the rich
being in the middle, you could fall short or you could exceed. I
don't rich people who lost it all now.
I don't want to have to play a gamble on my life. So I would rather you just come correct.
But anytime you get so if you don't want to play a gamble in your life, then you might as well just don't even get in a relationship, because any relationship you get in is a gamble in your life.
On finances.
So let me ask you, it's still the same though, because you can get with a rich dude and he could change over time and then choose to exit. That wouldn't be a gamble on your life.
I mean, but the thing is with that, if I get with a rich dude and he leaves, then it's not like I'm leaving with nothing.
Well, how many people you think? How many women you would say that you think want that man that can pay all the bills and they don't have to pay nothing?
I mean, that's kind of the goal for most women, I would say. Truly.
Okay, so that kind of the goal for most women, right?
I would say.
Yeah. So when like Kev you always tell me, Kev, when you start having these criteria of what you want, it's just the pickings get slim. So that means you have to bring something of value that most women aren't bringing. So you have to bring something of value, but if 10-15% of men got what you want, you have to bring something that 80-85% of women don't have. And you're saying
sure.
You believe,
of course.
You're saying you have that?
I mean, I think that everybody's special in their own unique design. So I think that I definitely could potentially attract what I want, honestly. And I say that because I've done it before. So
easy. So
I come from that as well.
I know you African. Would you let your father pick your husband?
They tried to, so no.
Why you didn't like them doing it?
Because they're not me. They don't have to deal with or live with that person. So
what if he chose somebody who was financially set?
That's the person they would choose.
Okay.
So why did
then what would be the problem then if they met all of these other things? Now what you were looking for?
There's just certain things that like I know he would choose for me that I personally wouldn't want in my life.
Well, you want to be attracted to the guy.
I mean, somewhat. I don't really want to like wake up to someone ugly, like an ogre or anything.
They may pick somebody that's a great man, but you're not attracted to.
I mean, then at that point, I would really like consider it honestly, because I feel like
you don't like KJ. Actually, what you don't like. What was the process that you don't like them doing? That's okay. Then what is it?
There's so much. Like, would you like someone choosing your girl for you? Like, you know, it just takes the whole point.
Yeah, if they choose exactly what I need, they need to do it. If they can find me exactly what I need, they need to do it, unless there's a problem in it. That's what we're trying to figure out. What is the problem in it?
I think it takes like the purpose of it away. Like if I really like am down to like the final stomping grounds and I really can't find anything for myself, then I'll probably consider it. But I trust in myself that I'll be able to find a guy to take care of me.
You don't want to answer it. You don't want to answer it.
What?
You don't want to answer it because you're going away. You're going to you answer everything except what I asked you.
Well, repeat your question because I did not hear it.
What KJ asked you, and I'm repeating his question. So
Okay.
the question is, what in the process of dumb picking your husband that you don't like about it? You said many things. Well, name one thing that you don't like. The reason
I told you it literally takes.
You never said it. You just said you can do it. Why?
Well,
I
no.
know you can do it, but what is it that you don't like about them that make you want to do it?
I don't know. It's just like giving like.
You don't know then.
Can I? Wow. Can you let me talk? Can you let me talk? You're asking me a question, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
You're asking me a question? Okay, thank you. So, I just don't like the fact that, like, it's like, I don't know, where did you come from? It's like, what's your background? Like, my parents might know their background somewhat, but the way they go about finding, like, guys is like, they know their family, they know wealth, and that's all they, like, look at. Like, I don't know, like, if we're gonna mesh well, if I'm gonna hate you, so finances is definitely key. Like, you have to, like, be able to take care of me, but there also has to be, I mean, it's not that I don't trust them, but like they don't really know everything. They don't know like the capacities of what I need for a man other than finances. It's like, in a way they might be looking out for themselves too. So it might turn out to be like a selfish thing,
Mm-hmm.
So
you think you know what you need more than they know what you need.
I mean, I'm me, right?
Yeah, but that don't mean you know what's good for you though. Most people don't know what's good for them. That's why most people smoke cigarettes. That's why most people do drugs. Date the wrong people. Most people don't know what they need for themselves. You don't believe they know?
But the thing is, I'm not that typical person though. I don't think like, I really. Ooh, what's that? It sounds like
feedback on somebody.
Yeah. But I honestly like, I don't know how this live is gonna depict me, but this is just how I feel about things. But I feel like ultimately, I feel like I'm probably like one of the most wholesome people you're ever gonna meet. Like, really, truly. I can say that with confidence just because I spent a lot of time like not judging people but hearing people's stories, like I have like the capacity to like love people and like take care of people and I'm not, it's not like I'm benefiting from them, and I just feel like with a spirit like mine, I can't have someone so harsh and just so like, just so someone that's gonna like corrupt it, someone that's gonna take advantage of that, like not all money is good money, so again, like I want someone to be financially stable, but at the same time there is a cost to that financial stable, so I want to find the balance to that, so I don't want just any guy with money. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. There's a balance to everything.
So I got one more final question. If
I could have sworn
everything
you said you was gonna ask a question.
You said what?
You forgot now. Y'all was that whole long debacle that you gonna remember what you was gonna even ask me.
I mean, you've been in and out for so long. I don't even remember what part you went out of. Being honest.
Just go ahead.
No, I said I don't even remember what part you went out on by the time this, we done went down a rabbit hole. We kind of moving. So out of everything that's being said, what is worth fighting for outside of these mishaps, right? Is there something that's really worth fighting for outside of just your emotion? Like, really, this is the question for everybody. Is there something really worth fighting for outside of your emotion? Josh, I'm going to start with you.
In the confines of a relationship, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Josh, frozen? You look frozen.
Yeah, it might be frozen.
Mhm.
I'll take it over.
I think he's thinking.
I would say for me personally, it would tie back to loyalty. And if it wasn't loyalty, I can't think of anything else right now, but it would have to be something like I said. I'm getting from this one person that's different than every other person can provide. Because for me, especially if you talk about marriage, for me to marry you, like I said, it has to be something unique about you. It has to be a rarity that comes with that. And I said like the faithfulness thing, that would be something worth fighting for. Like I can forgive you fucking up the finances. Some people can't forget. I can forgive you making a mistake, like you just had a bad attitude for a while. You know what I'm saying? Or you neglected the kids for the postpartum or whatever, depression or whatever. Like certain things I can forgive. The one thing I can't forgive is just the faithfulness part of it. So I think that has to be tied, at least locked in, and that could be something I'm fighting for. It would be the faithfulness or the commitment of somebody wanting to share their life. You can spend your life with anybody in the world. I can spend my life with anybody in the world, but I'm choosing you. You choosing me. There's something special and unique about that. You know, or if it's another situation, some women bring they work and they bring they check home to the man and they fully business. You know, they treat it like a whole pot. Whatever it is, it's got to be something you provide that I can't get from somewhere else. That's my personal answer to it.
Caprice, what you think? What is really something worth fighting for within this relationship outside of your emotions?
Outside of my emotions,
Yeah.
um, I would say the person. I will fight for the person if within this relationship there's consistency, reciprocation, healthy communication, and time well spent. Because I'm going to be keeping inventory on all these things. And wherever you lack at, you're just going to have to make up in other areas. And if you lacking in all of those, is no, what's the reason to stay?
Okay.
So my
Easy.
answer would be for the person. If he's reciprocating the same thing I'm doing, communicating the same way I'm communicating, trying to spend as much time as that I'm spending my time. It's basically reciprocation altogether. So yeah.
Okay. Easy. Question on you. What is worth fighting for outside of your emotions?
Um, I think mainly I would say like respect, um, respect and responsibility to your duties would probably be the two main things outside of my emotional bandwidth.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, if I was to answer the question, I mean, like I said in the beginning, my whole point of even getting there is because there has to be something bigger than just me and you. So I don't believe in moving with the emotion anyway. So my whole reason for even getting with you is worth fighting. The marriage is worth fighting for, dog, because it's beyond how I feel, period, anyway. So the fact that I even married you is worth fighting for. It's not even an emotion there, like an emotion applied to like the responsiveness of it. It's like, no, dog, like I chose this position for a reason. So the whole reason that I even propose is worth fighting for. Like I always say it's bigger than feelings. And I always say it all the time that I don't believe in letting the emotions dictate the way that we operate. I say it all the time.
So
So
just
I,
because, so just
I'm
because you proposing alone is what's gonna make you fight.
the fact, no, me choosing to marry her is the reason why I'm going to fight, because I'm getting married to her for something bigger than us anyway. I believe when you coming together, the marriage itself is bigger than me. It's bigger than the woman. The marriage is bigger than us. So the to just exit or to want to be triggered to be able to move, to me is meaningless. Then I should have never done it in the first place. Then it's no different than when people have their belief systems. The thing of believing in something greater than you is very powerful. And I believe if we're going to get married, I believe in this greater than me as by myself. Because if I'm going to put my faith within just me, I could just stay single. There's no need to have you there if I just need it in me. There's no point in even joining with you if there's not something greater. Like, what's the point? Why would you stay single?
I agree with that. But my question would be, like, within this marriage, if this person is not giving the same amount that you're giving, you still gonna fight for it? Like,
yes, you're gonna have to work. You're gonna have to find a way to work it out, because that's what relationships are. Work. Every time I get a job I don't like, I ain't gonna just say, all right, I quit.
Even if
that's what relationships are work, though.
Even if you keep having the same issue and nothing is changing.
We gonna work. Still got to work.
What?
I'm not walking into a marriage that you would see me exit. You would have to leave before I leave. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. Literally, I wouldn't do it. And I'm being honest. Because for all of that, then there's no need. Like, because you don't have to get married. So if I got these placements, then I can just avoid it altogether. You don't have to do it. But if I'm choosing to get into it, I'm in it.
So do you believe the way a person start off is the way they should maintain in the relationship?
No, people evolve all the time. No, I don't believe they should have to stay the same. I believe whatever the values in which that woman brought to me, because I'm not like a little bit like how y'all are was so nitpicky about those actions and small. You know what I'm saying? And I'm probably the only one on the panel who's been married before too, so I understand it already. So it's like I'm not that nitpicky. Like, yo, there's a problem, talk about it. All this other stuff like this, we're gonna work it out and all this stuff. Because for me to even make the choice, see, the first time I got married, I made the mistake. Yeah, I made the mistake, and I was completely selfish about it going into it. That's why I got married the first time, and that's how I ended up getting divorced, because I was completely selfish about my whole outlook going in it. I won't make that mistake again. I will let go of the self and focus on this marriage, which is greater than both of us. All personal feelings will have to be put aside. It's not about me. I understand that it's not about me. The joining with you is not about me. See, I made that mistake before, and my focus was me. So I will not make the mistake again and the focus be about me.
So I'm trying to understand. I mean, I agree with everything you saying, but if you saying like you voicing these problems with somebody and nothing is changing, you keep voicing these problems over and over, so you just saying like keep fighting.
What give me an example of a problem? Because sometimes when people say problem, it will be very minor. I don't know, because you can have something in your mind that you're calling a problem that I might not see as a problem. So what would be a problem?
For me, I wouldn't like little minute shit. I wouldn't be like, oh, that's a problem. Like stuff that holds the relationship together, like communication.
What would be a problem?
If communication is lacking, and I keep having this conversation with you that we need to communicate, and nothing is changing, then what?
You talking about for you?
I'm talking about in general.
Well, I mean, if I'm speaking for me, if communication is the problem, then we're gonna have to talk. Because that would mean communication would have had to become a problem later. It couldn't have been a problem in the beginning, otherwise we would have never end up taking a step.
No, I wouldn't.
So that means we would have had to. That means if we had good communication at one point, that means we can get back to this communication at some point. Otherwise, we just never had it in the first place, and we wouldn't have gotten that far if we never had the communication in the first place.
No, I'm not. it wouldn't be like an initial problem from the beginning. Like you was like y'all had a good communication, and then further down the line, communication started lacking. You start voicing that, oh, I need more communication. I need more communication from you, and like it's not changing. Then would you just keep fighting? You keep having a conversation about communication, and the communication is not changing.
I can't see myself in a battle about communication because I'm not afraid to communicate. So I kind of can't really give an answer to this because I don't know, like without a direct example, I don't know what that is. Like when you keep saying communication is literally us doing just that, with us talking to each other. Like, is it something specific that you would be asking? Like, when you say communication, what, like, communicating is just that? I don't understand it. Because if you bringing it to me, then clearly we communicating at some point because you're bringing it to me. So I don't understand. What is this? What specifically?
Okay,
all we're targeting?
So lack of communication is not a problem. That wouldn't be a problem for you. Okay, let me see a different one. Say you have a certain sex drive and you're telling your partner, like, I need more of this over and over, and it's not happening. Then what, you keep fighting for the relationship even though you're not being satisfied sexually?
So when it comes to sex drive, I tell people all the time, it's not what will make me leave the relationship, but I always tell people, if you got a partner and they got a high sex drive, whether it's the man or the woman, and you one of them people who like to simply say, I don't want to have sex, that means you need to have an open mind of them having sex with somebody else, because that doesn't make sense for somebody to say, oh, I don't want to fuck at all. I don't want to fuck, so you just can't fuck at all. That makes absolutely no sense. So if you know your partner has a high sex drive, then you simply have to commend it. So I mean, I don't understand where we go from here. Otherwise, that's where it's going to lead to where cheating is going to happen, and then the cheating is going to be because they want to fuck. But that doesn't mean because they chose to cheat mean they want to leave a relationship. They just mean they need some pussy, so they can get pussy on the side and still be within a relationship. Because cheating don't mean you exiting.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, when is the limit of the whole keep fighting thing? Because you could be it could be a one-sided fight. You could be fighting for
it's only over if the person says that they want out, because you can't make somebody stay. So if a person is telling you they want out, then there's nothing you can do. There is no fight if a person is telling you they want out. But I'm talking about for people who aren't going anywhere. But you're saying there's problems, but you're not leaving. Because if a person outrightly say, I don't want you no more, there's nothing really you can do with it. They want out. So the line is already drawn. If a person literally straight up tells you I'm leaving, you can't make somebody stay. You can't hold a hostage. So if you tell me you're straight leaving, then there's nothing I can do with that. But I'm talking about for people who stay, because most people aren't leaving. They're doing a lot of complaining, but they're not leaving. And then they start doing all the extra outside work instead of actually building each other back up. So I'm speaking for the people who are actually together. Because if somebody's going to leave, they're going to leave. You can't hold a hostage. It's not that deep.
I didn't say anything about leaving. I'm just saying, like, when is the cap to keep fighting?
I said leaving, because you said when you asked the question about where's the limit. The limit would be if the person said they're out the door.
So the limit is only if the person said they want to leave.
I'm speaking for me now. So I don't know where your question is going, but I'm speaking for me. Yes, the limit would be if you say you out the door. Because you can't make somebody stay in something that they don't want to be in. But for people who aren't leaving, that means there's fighting to be done if you're not leaving. The only time you can't fight is if a motherfucker get the fuck away. How am I gonna fight you if you're not there?
No, a person don't have to leave you and not feel a need to work on a relationship. They could just want to be there because it's something comfortable for them, but they don't care how the relationship go.
And you still within it. As long as you still within it, there's work that can be done. As long as a person is in it, there's still work that can be done. It's just that simple. As long as you still involved, there's work that can be done. It's only over when the exit has already been made. I mean, it's simple.
I I mean, I guess like you saying that it's work that could be done, but if you keep voicing these things to somebody and the work is not being done, then
I mean, you're speaking for yourself, but I already said it. As long as people are in it, there's work that can be done. Is that not true? I mean, is that not a true statement? As long as you're still involved, then that means there's work that can be done. Because if you completely over it and you done, that's when there's nothing that can be adjusted. The moment you are made up in your mind and you're secure that I'm out, that's when there's nothing else for us to talk about. So even if a person's taking a stubborn attitude, like what you're saying, and they don't want to do this, they don't want to do this, they don't want to do this, but they're still there. That means there's still work that can be done because they're still remaining. It's only until they say they completely out that now you have to wave the flag. Is that not true?
I don't know. I don't know, because if that person is stubborn and don't want to work with you, but they still there, that could be a burden onto you. You steady trying to fight. You steady trying to
So
get your goals.
ask the question for you.
This
What
person
would you
is
do?
not reciprocating the same.
So what would you do
What would I do? What?
in the scenario that you
If I
painted?
keep voicing my grievances and it's nothing changing,
Yes.
I'm gonna be over it.
Oh, okay. That's why the question keeps coming.
What?
I said that's why the question keeps coming, because of the placement already.
Yeah, for me, I'm gonna be over it. If I keep voicing my grievances and nothing is changing, and it's
So what is the time? So what is the time limit for you then? Since you say you won't exit, what would be the time limit?
Then like, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a time limit. I would say it's more predicated on how it's fucking with me mentally.
So what would be? So how long would that take? What do you think that would take? Or do you have to completely break down to realize that, you need to get out?
Like when I start feeling like when this shit is like heavy on my mind all the time and nothing changing, I'm gonna eventually lose interest, and losing interest is gonna make me be over it, and then I'm gonna be done.
Understood. So basically, most people, like I said in the beginning, most people ain't there's not really much grace. Most people, their grace lies within. Most people, their grace lies within as long as they're receiving something. The moment they stop receiving something, the grace is over. If there's no benefit, the grace is over.
I would say for me, I am gracious, but to a limit. Like if it's, how can I, especially with me having children, how can I be good for my kids if this is messing with me mentally? If I love a person that's not giving me what satisfy me and it's fucking with me mentally, and I got an attitude all the time, then I'm going to take that energy out on my kids. I can't do that.
I mean, it's all understood. You speaking from your own personal placement. But everybody ain't bothered to trigger to the moments for everything too. That's why even when earlier I said, I was like, you would have to give me a direct example when you were posing your questions, because what one person poses as a problem might not be a problem for the next. So that's why I was like, we have to be real more specific with this kind of concept, because I might not feel the way you feel about something. Something that might bother you might not bother me at all. Or the next person. Or the next person. Because me and you on opposite sides. Because me and you are on opposite sides of just this conversation in itself.
Yeah, that's why I try to change it from communication, because you said that's not a lack of communication is not a problem for you. So
because as long as you're there, that means there's communication to be had. Nah, like a person, like.
You mean as long as you there physically or like a call away?
As long as you're there, there's communication to be had, and that's why within the communication, the questions will be posed on are you going to exit? Are you leaving? Or are you this? Like it will be very direct questions that will come about.
Well, do you think when there's a lack in a physical connection, like being in a person's presence, that communication needs to increase?
You said, do I think that a lack of physical what? A lack of physical
presence, like lack of physical presence, like spending time. If that's lacking, do you feel like you have to make up in communication?
Are we talking about an actual real relationship?
Yeah.
So in an actual real relationship, if you're not in a placement where you're not seeing them, you're not having no involvement with them, I don't understand. I mean, what is it really that? Because I'm on the stance whether you either married or you're not. So I don't see how you can not be there if y'all married. Now, if we talking this whole child shit of, I got a girlfriend, I got a boyfriend, I can't coddle to those type of things because I don't believe in that. We friends or we're married. It's just that simple.
What?
So I can't play in that realm like that because it doesn't make sense to me.
Which I agree with, because I don't like the whole concept of boyfriend and girlfriend either. But like if you saying it's friendship or marriage, so even in a friendship, because you say like you're supposed to be building in a friendship, right?
It depends on your friendship. All friendships ain't building friendships.
All right, the friendship that.
But if you talk, but if you're talking, but you're speaking to the realm of actually more of a courting type situation. You're not talking about genuine just friends. You're talking about trying to make this person not be a friend no more.
No, I'm talking about genuine friends. I feel like even platonic friendships, you should still communicate with your friends and still like spend time with your friends. Like if you can't spend time with them, it should make up in communication. Because why else would that be your like? What kind of friendship is it if we don't never talk?
But that's what I said. That's what I said though. That's why I said earlier. It depends on the type of friendship too.
A genuine friendship as well. You still build in regular platonic friendship. They don't even have to be going into a marriage or a relationship. It could just be a friendship. It could just be a platonic friendship. You still build in those. So I don't know how you could not build.
So it's gonna fall in the lines of the individual of how that friendship is actually set up. Because friends is a very broad term and people are friends for many, many different reasons. So as far as communication, some people got lives where they're not talking to their friends every single day. They're not talking to their friends every week. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be predicated upon how much you feel you have to be talking to this person. Like that's a personal thing. Like I can't put a time or put a placement on it because it depends. It literally depends on the person. Like just like how when my little brother was like when he explains like the ghosting and all this other stuff like that, a lot of that stuff I get because I'm one of them type of people that I gotta remind myself to reach out to people because I'm so much of a self-focused person that I make sure I'm straight before anything. Everything else comes second to me, even my children. Because I have to make sure I'm in a proper place before I can do it. That's why when I hear people say, "Oh, my children first," I be like, "I hear you, but that ain't how I work over here. I'm first, and then the children. Because if I'm not straight, I can't do shit for them. If I don't have a certain mental place, if I don't have a certain place of peace, of serenity, I can't be what they need. They need for their growth. So I come first, then the children.
I agree with that. That's
because people like using the term leader. So don't the leader come before the follower? That's what I always thought. I ain't never somebody follow the leader and the leader in the back. So I have to come first. So even with that being said, with the friendship, like I'm one of those people, like I said, And everybody know me. I push self-growth. And once you get yourself to a point where you understand and you got yourself together, then we start having conversations about partnership. Because now your biggest thing is codependency now. That's the biggest thing now we have to discuss. It's codependency because now we understand ourselves, we done grown, we got where we need to be. Now I'm ready to rely on you now. That's why I said if I was to get married, I understand the concept because I'm done. I have myself straight now. The whole reason I've joined you is because I'm ready to depend on you now. That means I've understood. That's another part of me I'm tapping into now that, okay, I've got myself established. I'm everything I need to be for myself now. Now, I need my dependence for you now. For whatever it is that attribution you're going to bring. That's why I bring up the question about the value of it being thrown out the window. Because to me, the point of us even coming together has to be greater because other than that, all of us has echoed the sentiment. We can all just stay alone too. We can all just stay fucking single. Fuck who we want, do whatever. We can just stay the fuck single. The purpose of coming together with somebody has to be you realizing that there's a dependency level. And most of the time when people always have an exit on there, they're not willing to be as dependable as you realize. Because dependability means the loyalty. That means you have to be there. Faithfulness to this.
It's so hard to depend on people. Like, I'm so used to taking care of my goddamn self. Like, it's hard for me to goddamn depend on somebody.
And as long as you are in that placement, that means you don't need to be in a relationship. Because it's only until you realize that you can depend on somebody that you even ready for the relationship.
And I agree.
So it's not a slight to it. For people who do believe that, that means you need to be single until you realize that this is about dependency. There's no reason to be a part of a team if you're not going to depend on each other. Just be independent. That's why the word is that, independent. That means all you need to worry about is your motherfucking self. But when we start talking about building with people and bringing people into the fold and coming all this other stuff, that means there has to be a dependency.
All right.
And to me, I don't see the benefit in throwing away that because I believe like I said, the whole point of it coming because I saw something greater. Whether it's that she helped make me sharper, because I'm pretty sharp, but she motivates me or helped make me sharper, and I see that she's pushing something that I saw like, damn, I was pretty inspired on my own, man. But yo, because that's what purpose is. Purpose is your why. It's not what you do, it's why you do it. And a lot of times, having other people there gives you more motivation to do what you need to do. That's why kids are so motivating to a lot of people. Because it pushes you to want to be a better version for some people. Not all people. But for some people, kids push you to be a greater version of yourself because you realize they have a what? Dependency upon you. And the relationship should be the same. The coupleship should be the same. I need you the same way my son needs me. I need you the same way my daughter needs me. If not, then why the fuck are we doing it? That's just a jewel. If not, why are we doing it? Like literally. Why are we doing it? I need you as much as my children need me. That's why I married you. It ain't about me loving you. I need you. More, just like my children need me. And to me, that's worth fighting for. When you realize that, yo, I love you so much to the point that I can't see myself without this, is worth fighting for. Even if you slip up. Because this is already greater. All right, you made a mistake. Let's have this conversation. Let's have this communication effectively, like Caprice keeps saying. Let's have this communication. You cheated because why? Was it something you lacking? Random itch? Like let's have the conversation. Let's have the understanding. Because if you're not telling me you're leaving the marriage, that means there's work that can be done. So you could have cheated, but if you're not leaving, because there's a difference if somebody say they leaving, but if you're not leaving, work can be done. Just like at any job. As long as your ass is there, there's work that can be done. They always tell you that. Oh, no, we got some work for you. We got some work to do. We got some work for you to do now. You ain't got to go home. You ain't got to leave. We got some work for you. You can clean. You can do some. You can do 5S or do some shit. We got some work for you. It's no differently than a relationship. And frankly, and I'm going to just put this out there, everybody love talking about they love first. I don't even believe y'all niggas love people the way that y'all claim y'all love people. But that's just me. From what I hear and as I hear people talk, I don't think y'all really loving niggas like that. I think it just sounds good. I don't think y'all really loving people like that.
Why?
That's my opinion.
Why?
I ain't trying to take no shot, but I just honestly don't believe y'all really loving them like that.
Why?
Well, I'm not a big emotional person anyway, so I can feel you on that one. Like, I say it could be hard for me because I'm not that emotional attached and all that shit. So,
I've always said that friendships, coupleships, you will leave me before I leave you. Because I see something different in you. The reason why I even take you as a friend because I see something different in you. Now, if you say you don't want to be my friend no more, I ain't gonna cry. I ain't gonna be like, damn, you didn't want to be my friend? Why you don't want to be my friend? No, you don't want to be my friend. You say you're gonna exit. I can't do nothing but respect the fact to let you exit. Because I can't hold you hostage. The same way with the relationship. It ain't no different if my kids, if I say I want my kids to do certain stuff, he'd be like, nah, Dad, I don't want to do that. I want to tap into this. I want to do this. I got to be able to respect that and allow you to go on your way. Remember, I'm the person. I'm not in the control. I ain't trying to control you. You want to be here, right? You love, you want to be here. The things that feel the need, you want to be here. If you don't, then you can exit. You have the right to do so. I'm not saying anything about making people do anything.
So do you fight for your friendships too? Like you say, you fight for your marriage. Would you fight?
Fight in what way? Fight in what way? What do you mean when you say fight for?
Keep the friendship.
Like I said, if you have not said that you're out, there's work that could be done, which means we can fight. But if you say you're out, I can't lose myself trying to fight for someone who says they're done. Just like, so the friendship goes the same way with the relationship. Like, it's not a battle. Like if I'm dating Izzy say, yo, Kev, yo, listen, though, it's over. I can't be sitting here and be like, no, we gonna fight this thing out. She already told me it's over. I can't make her stay. What I'm gonna do, put her in the headlock and be like, no, motherfucker, you gonna stay with me. You can't make her stay.
So if she be like, Kevin, I need more communication from you.
And if I want her to stay, you know what I got to do? I need to communicate more. It's just that simple. Why would one just completely ignore what it is that one asks, especially if it's within reason?
that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Because typically, if somebody's just outrightly completely ignoring you, that means they don't give a fuck at all anyway. But why would somebody who actually really want it completely ignore you? That's man or woman. If they really want it. Now, I know you got them circumstances where people just here to be here, you know, all that other stuff like that. I get it. Understood. And they only with you because, you know, what they call them, the squatters, the guys who are squatters, what they call them? Homosexual or something like that? Hmm? That's the term they use?
What, squatting?
Like the guys, you know, them guys who typically get with women because they looking for a place to live. What they call them, homosexuals or some shit like that?
Oh,
He got a term like hobosexual. I think that's what they call them.
Sounds accurate.
Yeah, like you got some people who their whole premise for being there is because they just need somewhere to live. It ain't about you. But you got to learn how to understand too when somebody's involved with something and it's not about you. Because a lot of times we as people typically fall into this place where we like to make everything about us, not realizing that it actually ain't about you. And when I speak to grace, when I talk about grace, I'm simply talking about that placement of understanding. I'm not talking about grace as you just allow somebody to just beat you up. Because I don't even think, because even when we talk about cheat, it's not the cheating, it's the trust that's unforgivable. Not the cheating itself. It's the breaking of the trust that people find very difficult to come back from. How can I trust you again? It's not the act of cheating itself. It's not the fact that your dick went in her. It's I can't trust you is the problem.
True.
Because you told me one thing and then you did something different. It's not even the act of cheating. It's the fact that you fucking lie. It's the deception side that is triumphant, not the cheating itself. But I get it when people are, explaining it. But it's not the cheating itself. It's the trust. Because that's the number one thing that people deal with when these acts happen. I can't trust you. And then not being able to trust you begins to play a part on a mental psyche. How you deal with a person. So I get it. I totally understand it. That's why I do this. It's all about understanding. I ain't championing that. I believe people should just honor their word. I come from the era where we said word is bond. And what made a word is bond so sacred? Because that means, nigga, the word in which that I said is the bond in which holds us together. The moment that I break my word, I have literally destroyed the motherfucking bond that we had completely. That's what made the phrase word is bond is what it was. So I do believe that, yes, if you agree to it, you should honor the words that you brought into it. But I also think that people need to be honest with themselves before going into these situations too, because that's really the biggest problem. That a lot of people aren't being honest with themselves. And they're trying to pretend to be somebody else while they're with these people. And because, first of all, you're lying to yourself. So it's only right that you're going to end up in an untrustworthy place with the other person. Because, nigga, how they say, your whole life was a lie. So it's just waiting to be unraveled because you were lying to yourself anyway. You knew you wasn't a one-woman guy from the jump. But you wanted her, so you played a selfish role. You lied to her, told her you was gonna be there, even though you still wanted your flings. The problem was you was already there because you was lying to yourself. You knew you couldn't fulfill that anyway. Should have just let her be. But you got greedy. And that's what happens for a lot of men. A lot of men just get greedy. Yeah, well, I'm saying women too, though, because I'm knowing a lot of women right now who they say the same shit. So people just get greedy. But yeah, so when it comes to this whole stand together, so I know we've been on here for a little minute. We're gonna wrap this thing up. When it comes to the stand together, I believe that it's beyond me and you. And if I look at any part of it from a me standpoint, then there's no reason for me to do it at all. Because it's all about my dependency on you. And I know that's a terrifying thing to hear because a lot of people, like a lot of us have loved and have been heartbroken. A lot of us had our love misplaced, had our love mistreated. So it's hard to jump out there like that, to push that concept. But personally, I just don't see no reason if you cannot admit the dependency side. And if you're looking at it as independent, then stay independently alone. I mean, it just only makes sense. And that's just my take on that. I mean, it's just that simple. So, guys, y'all want to bring anything else before we get up out of here? Faces looking serious and everything, Y'all got anything else y'all want to add to the topic? Anything else y'all want to say? Give a message to the people or something, Anybody? You got something you want to say? You want to say something to the people?
I
Please,
mean,
people who are watching, do not take Izzy as a villain because we were kind of getting on Izzy, making Izzy look like a bad person. Izzy triggered, the fellas on the panel tonight. So we still love her. We know she's not a villain. She just need the man that comes in her life to be financially at a certain place, and that's just that.
quite simply. Well, I would just say that in order to stay together, you have to know yourself and know what you want and be able to be open to what your partner needs as well. So you have to, it's a constant like work in progress to stay together. It's not, you're gonna have your good days and bad days, but if it's meant to be, it'll be. So this is my segment for the night.
Josh, you got anything for the people?
Just focus on yourself before you can get in a relationship with somebody else.
Caprice, you got anything for the people?
You can hear me?
Uh-huh.
In a relationship, look for reciprocation. If it's not reciprocated, don't do it.
Matty B probably watching a game or something like that. At Monday. He like to be in these sports. But you got anything for the people before we get up off?
Nah, I'm good. It's a great show, man.
All right, guys. So until next time, we talk about this relationship thing, but we're gonna have a good one next week. We're just gonna talk about lies. Lies. It's gonna be ran a little. Well, I'll hit my team to it, but that's what we're talking about next. We're talking about lies. So until next time, y'all. This right here is the Humble Beginning Gang. Peace.